I was the last one anyone expected to destroy a whole city grid. But at 7:02 p.m., as the streetlights blinked red all at once and cars began crashing into each other, my name flashed across every news channel. City collapse caused by Lila Rivers. System. My system. My name. My fault. At least, that's what they told the world. But the truth is that I didn't break anything. Someone else did. And that someone is the reason I'm sitting here now, shaking, staring at the city burning in orange traffic, lights through my bedroom window. My life was normal until yesterday morning. And that was the day everything began to fall apart. My name is Lila Rivers. I'm 29 years old, and before everything went wrong, I was the youngest lead designer for the city's digital road network, a system that helped traffic move smoothly, helped ambulances find the fastest routes, and kept the whole city safe. I didn't learn things the normal way. I didn't see streets and cars like everyone else. I saw them like puzzle pieces, moving shapes, little patterns that connected to other patterns. People said I had a strange brain, but my strange brain saved the city almost every day. I worked for Northbridge City Control, the biggest tech center in the state. Tall glass walls, bright screens. Important people in suits who walked fast and talked faster. And then there was me. Simple clothes, messy ponytail, old sneakers with one pink lace and one white lace. People always ignored me. Until the day they fired me. But I'm jumping ahead. Let me tell you how it all started. That morning, everything was normal. Well, until it was. I walked into the office holding a warm bagel and a cold bottle of water, trying not to drop either. My desk was filled with sticky notes, wires, and my giant monitor. I was ready for a long day of fixing small bugs in the system. But when I sat down, my computer wouldn't turn on. That never happened before. I hit the power button again. Nothing. No light. No sound. No hum. Just dead. I frowned and checked the cables. All plugged in. All fine. Then I noticed something strange. A yellow sticky note on my chair. My handwriting. But I didn't write it. Run. That's all it said. My stomach dropped. Before I could move, before I could think, before I could even breathe. My boss appeared behind me. Lila, Mr. Grant said, his voice stiff. My office, now. He was never friendly, but this tone was different. Dangerous. Cold. I followed him down the hall, polished floor, clicking shoes, bright lights that felt too sharp. He opened his office door and pointed to a chair. But when I stepped inside, I froze. Because someone else was sitting in my usual seat. A woman. Tall. Sharp eyes. Sleek black hair tied into a perfect knot. I knew her from the news. Dr. Mara Flint. The youngest professor at Riverside Tech. A-star in data systems. A woman who smiled like a knife. What was she doing here? She turned to me slowly with a grin. So, she said softly, you're Lila Rivers. Her tone made my skin crawl. Mr. Grant sat behind his desk and folded his hands. Lila, he said, we need to talk about your system. My system, I repeated. Yes, Dr. Flint said, standing up. It seems you've been hiding things from us. Hiding what? She stepped close, her heels clicking like a countdown. Back doors, she said. Hidden files. Codes no one else can access. That's not true, I said quickly. Those aren't back doors, they're safety locks for emergencies. She fake smiled. Very interesting, because last night your safety locks shut down an entire highway. What? I gasped. They shouldn't do that, that's not how they work. Unless you planned it, she said softly. Unless you created a system only you can control. My hands shook. I didn't do anything wrong, I whispered. Mr. Grant looked away, avoiding my eyes. "Leela, we have to let you go," he said. The room turned cold. "What? You're firing me?" My heart thumped loudly in my ears. Dr. Flint crossed her arms. "Effective immediately," she said. "Security will escort you out." And just like that, I was no longer Leela Rivers, the lead designer. I was Leela Rivers, the girl shoved out of her own job. Security held my elbows and guided me through the office like I was a criminal. Everyone stared, some confused, some whispering, some pretending not to notice. Through the glass wall, I saw something worse. A celebration. A huge cake. Balloons. Clapping. And my stomach twisted. Dr. Mara Flint standing at the center holding a silver marker, drawing her name on the big project board. MY project board. I stopped walking. What is happening?" I whispered. A guard said softly, "They're announcing your replacement." My chest felt tight. Just yesterday, we were behind schedule and half the team doubted the new system updates. But now they were smiling, laughing, celebrating my exit like it was a victory. Because for them it was. The moment I stepped outside, the sky opened and rain fell hard, soaking my hair and clothes. I held my small box of belongings and watched as my entire world disappeared behind the glass doors. I wanted to scream, cry, run back inside. But instead, I walked home slowly, carrying 3 years of my life in a cardboard box. By the time I got home, I was freezing. I dropped the box on the couch and sat on the floor. I felt small, weak, alone. But deep down, something felt wrong. Very wrong. Dr. Flint didn't fire me because of mistakes. She didn't fire me because of hidden files. She fired me because she needed my system. And she couldn't control it without me. My phone buzzed. A message. Unknown number. Just one sentence. "You made a mistake leaving it unguarded." My blood ran cold. Before I could reply, the whole city went dark outside my window. Lights flickered. Street signals blinked red and froze. Horns started to blare in the distance. And then, my phone buzzed again. This time a voice message. I clicked play with shaking fingers. Dr. Flint's voice. "Calm. Cold. By morning, everyone will think you broke the city, Leela. And by then, your system will belong to me." The message ended. I couldn't breathe. This wasn't just about firing me. This wasn't about a celebration. This wasn't about a mistake. This was a takeover. A plan. A trap. And I walked right into it. But if Dr. Flint thought I would sit here and cry while she stole my life's work, she didn't know me at all. Because I built that system. Every line. Every pattern. Every hidden piece. And only I know how to stop it from falling apart. She wanted a war. She just started one. The city looked sick. Not a normal kind of sick, this was worse. Streetlights blinked the wrong colors. Cars sat trapped in long lines that stretched farther than I could see. People shouted from windows. Sirens cried out again, and again like the city itself was begging for help. And it all pointed to one person. Me. At least. That's what they believed. I pressed my forehead against the cold window glass. I wanted to look away, but I couldn't. This was my system, my design twisted into a monster. My phone buzzed again. This time a news alert. Breaking. Lead engineer Leela Rivers under investigation after traffic meltdown. I dropped the phone. My name. My face. My blame. I wanted to scream. I wanted to run outside and tell everyone, I didn't do this. But no one would listen. Dr. Mara Flint planned this. She wanted me gone. She wanted control. And she wasn't done. Not even close. I forced myself to breathe. Slow. Steady. Control your thoughts. I repeated the words in my head. Then I sat on the floor and pulled out my old notebook, the one I kept hidden because no one understood it except me. Inside were pages filled with messy arrows, circles, numbers, and sketches that looked like nothing to anyone else. But to me, they were the real map of the city. Everything came down to pattern K21. A small part of the system I never told anyone about. A part only I could see. A part that was missing from the version they took from me. Which meant the system Dr. Flint was using was incomplete. And incomplete meant unstable. My heart thumped fast. I didn't break anything. Dr. Flint did. She activated a system she didn't understand. Relief rushed through me for 1 second. But panic returned right after. If the system kept breaking at this speed, emergency vehicles wouldn't reach hospitals. Buses would stop running. Intersections would lock up. People could get hurt. Or worse. I couldn't just sit in my room while the city collapsed. I grabbed my backpack, stuffed my notebook inside, and ran out the door. The rain hit me the moment I reached the street. Cold. Hard. Sharp like tiny needles. Cars honked wildly. Drivers stuck in place, banged on their steering wheels. Pedestrians walked in circles, confused and shivering under broken streetlights. I pushed through crowds until I reached a crosswalk filled with a long line of people who weren't moving because the walk signal stayed red. A little girl tugged her mother's sleeve. "Mommy, why won't it change?" Her mother forced a smile. "It's broken, sweetie." I swallowed hard. The kid didn't know it was more than broken. It was dying. The whole system was failing like a chain of falling dominoes. I pulled my hood up and kept walking. I had to reach the only person who might still believe in me. Evan Hale. He wasn't a boss. He wasn't a coworker. He wasn't famous. He was the night technician, the guy who fixed broken wires in the basement level of the control center. He always brought extra snacks for everyone. He wore big headphones around his neck. And he always listened when no one else did. If anyone could help me get inside, it was him. I reached the control center, building faster than I expected. Usually the entrance glowed with bright blue light, and a guard stood at the door. But tonight, dark, empty. Only one emergency light flickered above the glass doors. I tried pulling the door. Locked. I knelt by the side panel and tugged a small wire I knew was hidden behind it. Most people didn't know it existed, but I built this entrance panel with the construction team last year. A tiny screen blinked on. Enter maintenance code. My hands shook. I typed the code I never shared with anyone. 9471, Rivers. The door clicked open. I slipped inside before anyone could see me. The building was dead silent, except for a strange humming sound in the distance. Every screen I passed was flashing red warnings. Error, route failure. Sector 11 critical. SB-10C offline. My stomach twisted. The warnings weren't normal. They were multiplying. Vast. I took the stairs, running down to the basement where Evan usually worked. By the time I reached the bottom, I was breathing hard. Sweat stuck my hair to my forehead. I knocked on the metal door. No answer. I knocked again. Still nothing. I pushed the door open a crack and peeked inside. "Evan," I whispered. The room was empty, but the lights were still on. Coffee was still steaming on his desk. His headset sat on the floor as if he dropped it in a hurry. Something wasn't right. My phone buzzed. A message from Evan. But the message made my skin crawl. "Don't come here. They know you're looking for me." "What?" I whispered. Another message. "They're coming." Another. "Run." The same word from the sticky note at my office. My heart jumped. Dr. Flint was ahead of me. She knew I'd come here. I backed toward the door, and then froze when I heard footsteps coming down the stairs outside. Not one pair. Many. Heavy boots. Vast. I turned in a panic and scanned the room. A ventilation grate. Small, but maybe big enough for me. I whispered, "Please work." I climbed onto Evan's desk, pulled at the grate, and to my relief, it popped loose. The footsteps got louder. I shoved my backpack inside, crawled in, and pulled the grate back with shaking hands. Right as the basement door swung open, I held my breath. Voices filled the room. Dr. Flint's voice among them. Cold. Sharp. Commanding. "Find her, she can't be far." Someone else spoke. "A man. If she gets into the system, she can shut us out." Dr. Flint replied. "She won't. We destroyed her access. She's powerless." My jaw tightened. No. Not powerless. Not if I reached the main server. The system was breaking because it was missing pattern K21, the part only I knew. I pressed deeper into the vent, heart hammering, and began crawling. Behind me, Dr. Flint's final words echoed. "Search every room. I want Leela Rivers found before the city realizes who the real failure is." The real failure. Sir. And I was going to prove it. No matter what it took. The vent was dark and cold. Dust clung to my hands. My knees hurt with every push forward. But I kept crawling. I had to reach the underground server room. It was the only place Dr. Flint couldn't fully control yet. After several minutes, I reached a fork. Left vent led to the power station. Right vent led to the server core. I turned right. As I crawled, I could hear faint sounds through the metal, alarms, voices, and the constant shaking hum of the failing system. Soon, the vent dropped downward into a steep slide. I gulped. "Okay, here goes," I whispered. I slid. Vast. The metal burned under my hands. The wind rushed in my ears. Then, thud. I landed on a pile of cables in a dim hallway. I stood slowly. I knew where I was. Sector A Blue. The hallway leading to the main server room. Only one door stood between me and the beating heart of the entire traffic system. A heavy metal door with a fingerprint scanner. I stepped closer. The scanner glowed red. I placed my hand on it. The scanner blinked. Red. 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 Then, access granted. My eyes widened. "How?" I whispered. Then I remembered. I helped build this scanner too. And I gave it a hidden rule. If Leela Rivers is removed from employee records, grant emergency access. A backup plan. My backup plan. The door unlocked. I stepped inside. The server room was cold. Blue lights blinked from tall metal towers. Cables covered the floor like giant roots. The air smelled of metal and electricity. I walked to the main control panel and opened my notebook. My hands stopped shaking. My breathing slowed. This was my world. My design. And I knew exactly where to start. I clicked on an old screen no one else ever used. A secret screen I built years ago. "Hello, Lila," the system wrote across it. I smiled sadly. Even when the world hated me, my system didn't. I typed the command. Open pattern K21. The screen flickered. A loading bar appeared. 41%. 52%. 66%. 80%. 99%. 100%. A map of the city lit up, glowing blue like a beating heart. Every broken point flashed. Every unstable line danced. My system wasn't dead. It was calling for me, needing me. I touched the screen gently. Hang on, I whispered. I'm here now. And then the door behind me slammed open. I turned, and my heart almost stopped. Dr. Flint stood in the doorway, her face twisted with fury. Behind her, 2 guards. She pointed at me. There she is, she hissed. The girl who thought she could outsmart me. I stepped back, clutching my notebook. You broke the system, I said. You tried to run it without me. That's why the city is falling apart. Dr. Flint's smile was thin and furious. No, Leela, I didn't break the city. I simply removed the one person who stood in my way. She stepped closer. And now, I'll finish what I started. I stared at her. At the guards. At the glowing map behind me. I had no way out. No vent. No door. No escape. But I wasn't done. Not even close. I whispered under my breath. System, lock doors. The door slammed shut behind Dr. Flint. The guard spun around, startled. Dr. Flint's eyes widened in shock. You, she whispered, you still have control. I smiled. You took my job. You stole my system. You blamed me for your failures. I stepped forward. But you forgot one thing. I pointed to my chest. You can't remove the person the system was built around. Dr. Flint's face went pale. Because she realized the truth. She didn't control the system. I did. The city needed saving. And I wasn't leaving until I saved it. The door rattled behind Dr. Flint as she slammed her fist against it, but it stayed locked. My system listened to me, only me. The guards exchanged nervous glances, unsure whether to follow her orders or back away from the girl controlling the entire building. Dr. Flint pointed sharply at them. Get her away from the panel. They took one step toward me. I raised my hand. System, activate hallway shield. A thick metal barrier shot down from the ceiling behind Dr. Flint, sealing her inside the server room with me and cutting the guards off completely. The guards froze on the other side, unable to reach us. Dr. Flint spun toward me, her eyes wide. You're not supposed to have that kind of access. I shrugged. You shouldn't try to steal things you don't understand. She took a slow step toward me. Leela, listen to me. No, I cut in. You listen. My voice echoed against the cold metal walls. You wanted control. You wanted power. You wanted my system to belong to you. I tapped the glowing map behind me. But this system isn't a machine anyone can own. It's built on patterns, my patterns. Things I saw and no one else did. Her face twisted in anger. You're unstable. That's why you were fired. No, I replied calmly. I was fired because you were jealous. I turned back to the glowing screen. The city grid blinked red and orange, flickering like a heartbeat in trouble. Patterns tangled and twisted. Sectors fought against each other. Routes stopped responding. The system was dying. I placed both hands on the controls. System, transfer command to root access L. A voice vibrated through the room, my own recorded voice from when I built it years ago. Root access L confirmed. Welcome back, Leela Rivers. Dr. Flint stepped forward quickly. Wait, don't touch anything. I ignored her. She lunged toward me, but I shot a quick command. System, freeze panel 3 platform. The floor under Dr. Flint shimmered, then glowed electric blue. She froze mid-step. Her shoes stuck to the metal like magnets. She tried to move, but she couldn't. What did you do to me? She shouted. I didn't hurt you, I said. It's a magnetic lock to keep you still while I fix the city. Her face reddened with rage. You don't understand what's coming, Leela. This system is only stage 1. We had plans, big plans. Yeah, I said, typing fast. You plan to take my work and sell it. Her silence told me everything. She had meant to sell it. Probably to the highest bidder. Probably to someone who didn't care about lives, only money. I slammed my hand on the side panel. The city map zoomed in, dividing into 12 sectors. Every sector blinked red. "Okay," I whispered. "Let's save you." I typed the first command. Open K21 sequence. Lines of code spilled across the screen like a waterfall. The system recognized me immediately. Blue lines lit up. Broken paths began reconnecting. Sensors started responding. Dr. Flint jerked against the magnetic lock. "You think you can fix all 12 sectors alone? You're out of your mind." I looked over my shoulder. "Good thing I don't need to be alone." She frowned. "What are you talking about?" I typed one more command. Connect, Iris. A moment later, my old teammate's profile picture appeared on the panel. A small blue icon. A little chime. Then, "Lila, please tell me this is really you." I smiled weakly. "Yeah, Iris, it's me." "Oh my gosh, we've been looking for you everywhere." "I know," I said. "I need your help. The North Sector is failing." Her voice shook with panic. "Everything is failing. Ambulances can't move. Lights won't change. Even the mayor is trapped in her car." I winced. "Okay, here's what we do. You take sectors 1 through 4. I'll take 5 through 12. How? We can't access anything from the company anymore." I took a deep breath. "Because I'm opening it for you now." I typed. Grant access, Iris LIU level summit. Dr. Flint gasped. "No, you can't give her access. She's a junior tech. She'll ruin everything." I didn't even look at her. Iris is the only person who didn't betray me. Iris let out a shaky breath through the speaker. "I won't let you down, Lila." "I know," I said softly. Because Iris had always believed in me. Even when others didn't. As Iris got to work, the map began to shift. Sector 2 turned from red to orange. Sector 4 blinked from purple to green. I watched the city slowly wake up again. People didn't know it yet, but their streets were starting to breathe. "Okay," I said. "My turn." I cracked my knuckles and focused on the biggest issue. Sector 9, the hospital district. If I didn't fix that one, people would die. I typed harder and faster. Open traffic veins. Reset flow channels. Override signal 17B. Reconnect hydrant FEEDS. One by one, the lights on the map shifted. Red. Orange. Yellow. Green. 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 The routes opened like doors in a long hallway. Ambulances gained speed. Emergency lanes cleared. Pedestrian signals blinked correctly again. I felt tears sting my eyes, but I wiped them fast. There was no time to cry. Sector 11 needed me next. Then Sector 7. Then Sector 12. One by one, I brought them back to life. Until all 12 sectors glowed green. The entire city map pulsed gently, like a calm heartbeat. I stepped back, breathing hard. "We did it," I whispered. Iris cheered through the speaker. "We did it. Lila, the mayor wants to talk to you. She wants to thank you." But before she could finish, an alarm blared across the room. My head snapped toward the screen. A new message flashed. Unknown user ACCSSING system. "What?" Iris yelled. "That's not me." Dr. Flint smiled slowly. And that smile made my stomach twist. "Oops," she said. I might have forgotten to mention something. Before I could respond, a loud boom echoed through the room, coming from the other side of the metal wall. The guards. They were trying to break in. Dr. Flint leaned forward as far as the magnetic lock allowed. "You didn't seriously think I was the only one after your system, did you?" Her voice dropped to a chilling whisper. There are people who would destroy this entire city to control what you built. My blood ran cold. You let them in. She grinned. Not yet. Another boom. The metal wall bent inward, just slightly. But they're coming. I took a step back. My system, my beautiful system, was open. And someone dangerous was trying to take it. Dr. Flint whispered, "You saved the city today, Leela. But the real battle is just starting." The metal wall buckled as another blow smashed against it. I held my notebook tightly. This wasn't over. Not by a long shot. But now, I wasn't the scared girl who got fired. I wasn't the girl crying in her apartment. I was the architect of the city's most powerful system. And I was ready. I looked at the screen one last time. All green. All alive. All mine. I whispered, "System, prepare lockdown." The lights flickered. The building shook. Power surged through the floor. And as the wall burst open, I turned to face whatever came next. Because this time, I wasn't running.
Thank you for listening to my story. Please like and subscribe to hear more stories.